Welcome to the Peace and Prosperity Podcast. This is episode number 6, and in today's episode, we'll be talking about how to be more confident and 3 important lessons that I personally learned that helped me overcome a decade of low self-esteem. So, my name is Bo, and I help people rapidly dissolve the mental and emotional barriers to a more peaceful and prosperous life. And I'm very happy to present this episode for you today because these are some very powerful insights and realizations that I've had over the years that have helped me dramatically increase my level of self-confidence, my sense of inner peace and contentment. And I grew up being not the most confident person. I was always the very shy person in school. I was the guy in school who never really talked. I didn't have many friends. It was very hard for me to make friends, and I was just never really confident about myself. I was never really secure. I dealt with a lot of feelings of shame and embarrassment and guilt, and I struggled with this for most of my life. And not to say that I'm perfect now and I've overcome everything, but I have come so far and overcome so much that now I feel it is sort of my responsibility to share with others who might be going through a similar sort of struggle. So if you're encountering a lot of self-doubt in your life, insecurity, maybe you're just afraid to pursue the things that are important to you, and you have these fears and insecurities stopping you from living the life that you really want to live, then I think this episode is going to be very helpful for you today. So number 1 is to expand your field of possibilities. So we all live in these boxes, the box that we create for ourselves. It's like a prison cell almost that we create with our own mind. And we all have certain beliefs about what is possible for us personally. And I think that low self-confidence often comes from not being aware of your true potential, not being aware of the pathway to get where you want to go. Low self-confidence comes from not believing that you can make it or that you can figure it out on your own. It's sort of like this feeling of hopelessness, like you're stuck and you're afraid and you don't know what to do. And so I think it's so important, at least I've seen on my journey, that it's been so important to learn from other people who have already been there, who have already done the thing you want to do, or who have already overcome the challenge that you want to overcome. We have to expand what we believe is possible for us. Like, I remember growing up, I was always very shy. And then in I think it was my early 20s, I found this guy on the internet. His name is Stefan Palernos. You might have seen him on YouTube. He's very popular on YouTube. And I remember learning from him. And he told the story about how he was very shy and introverted as a teenager, and how he was very insecure, and then how he overcame that and went on to become a multimillionaire. Now he's a multimillionaire. He has lots of success, and he's very fulfilled in his life. And I looked at that, and that just shattered all my beliefs about what was possible for me. Before that, I thought that I was limited, that I couldn't really achieve that much success in life, or that it was very uncertain and it was unpredictable, and there were so many obstacles that I had to navigate, and my future felt uncertain. And that uncertainty can bring a feeling of insecurity, a feeling of fear or self-doubt. But I gained certainty by learning about other people who were like me, who dealt with the same challenges that I was dealing with, but had overcome them and gone on to create an amazing life. That, to me, just opened up my awareness, and I started to see that there was so much more possible for me. I had so much more potential than I even knew. And then that set me on a path to continue learning from a lot of different people and really seeking out mentors and role models, people who had walked the path already, who had overcome their fears and insecurities and gone on to create amazing, fulfilling lives. So we all live in this box of our own mind, a prison cell of our own beliefs about what is possible for us, what is not possible, what we can and can't achieve, or who we are. We have all these beliefs about who we are, and this holds us back in life. It prevents us from seeing more possibilities. We're unaware of it. It's like outside of our field of vision. The possibilities and the opportunities are all there. There's infinite number of them. But most people are just not aware of them because they're telling themselves a story in their mind that I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I'm only this kind of person, and all these beliefs that are just like blinders, and they prevent us from seeing more possibilities. So an easy way to start breaking free from those limiting beliefs is just to become a voracious learner and study other people. Read books. Learn how other people see the world, how other people perceive things. Learn how other people have overcome their challenges and faced adversity, but pushed through it and overcame it and transcended it. Learn from people who have a lot of confidence, who have a lot of success. Whatever you want in life, find someone who used to not have it, but now does have it. Those are the best people to learn from because those are the people that are relatable, because you can see they were once where I am now and they overcame it and now they're at this totally different level of life. And that's relatable to us because we think if they could do it, if they could go from rock bottom to massive success or whatever, then a part of our mind knows that if they could do it, then we can too. And then that gives us hope. It opens up a new field, a new realm of possibilities. And that starts the process of growth. It starts the process of increasing our confidence, our sense of possibility and hopefulness in life. And that was what started the journey for me. So to summarize this point, just make sure you're always learning from other people and that you're not stuck in this box of your own reality and you're just thinking that there's certain limits to what you can achieve, but other people can achieve more because they're this kind of person or this kind of person, or they have advantages, or they're lucky, or they're fortunate, or whatever it is. These are just all belief systems that hold us back in life. And it's not all about achieving. It's not about achieving massive success or whatever, or making a lot of money and all this stuff. That's not really the point. The point is just opening your awareness so that you know that you have those options. You know that you're not really limited. Lack of confidence comes from feeling that you're limited, feeling that you can't achieve certain things, or that there's not a pathway for you, that there's not a possibility, that you're never going to achieve that or have that or be able to do that or become that kind of person that you want to be. It just comes from this closed off perspective. So the antidote to that is to start seeking out mentors and role models who have already been there and done that and walked the path. And that is something that has served me greatly. So I think it will for you as well. So number 2 is the power of your self-image, which I kind of alluded to a little bit, but it's like we all have this idea of ourselves that I'm just this kind of person and I'm not as good as this other person. Like we tend to look up to people or look down on people. And it's this ego trick that our mind plays on us that makes us feel, usually it makes us feel inferior, makes us feel not good enough, like we can't really do it because we're comparing ourselves to people who are way more successful than us maybe. And one thing that I had to learn was if I see myself as lower than these people, then I will always hold myself back. It's not about seeing yourself as higher than people or like this ego superiority trip or being arrogant. It's not about that. It's about seeing yourself as equal to all other people. Seeing yourself on the same level, seeing that everyone in life has the same amount of time in a day. They have the same opportunities, whether they're aware of them or not. Essentially, everyone has opportunities. Everyone can grow, can succeed. Everyone can overcome their challenges. Everyone has that innate capacity, that ability to overcome, to transcend, to succeed, to be happy in life. Everyone has that ability. So you have to stop looking at successful people as having something that you don't. We all have that innate, inborn ability to rise above our challenges and to succeed in spite of adversity and challenge. So you have to stop looking up to these people, see them as role models, yes, but also don't get stuck in the trap of believing that they have something that you don't, or that you're inferior to them, or you're not as good as them, or you're not as capable as them, or you're not as fortunate or as blessed as them. These are all images or ideas of ourself that we have in our mind, and we see ourselves down here and we see other people up here, and it creates insecurity. So one of the keys to feeling more confident in your life is to stop comparing yourself to others and to start to just go within and find the strength that you already have within. Stop thinking of other people as more advantaged than you, and start seeing yourself as a powerful creator who is capable of creating that success as well. So be inspired by other people. Don't compare yourself to them necessarily, but just be inspired and know that if someone else can reach a very deep level of happiness and joy and fulfillment in their life, then that means you have that same inborn, innate ability. So we have to start seeing ourselves as equal. All people are equal. All people have opportunities to grow. All people can change, can succeed, can prosper, can be happy. Everyone can. So there's nothing that someone else has that you don't. And if you think that there is, it just means you're focusing on the wrong things. You're probably focusing on like external things, like this person was born with lots of money and they're lucky and all this. That's an external thing. Money is an external thing. Circumstances are external. The place you were born, the parents you have, like you can't really control those things. So it's focusing on the wrong thing. You have to focus on what you can control. And that is how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, what kind of qualities and virtues you choose to nurture within yourself. Those internal qualities, that is what makes people successful. That is what makes people confident. It doesn't have anything to do with the external things. You could be born in the worst circumstances in life and still find a great level of happiness in life. You know, you could overcome extreme poverty and go on to be massively successful. Your circumstances don't dictate your state of mind. It has to go much deeper than that. If you really want to prosper in life, you have to dig deep within and find those inborn qualities and virtues that we all have access to. Things like courage and compassion and gratitude and faith and trust and determination and hope. You know, these are all within the human spirit, you might say. So we have to get in touch with those and start seeing that everyone has access to them and no one is any less or more fortunate than anyone else. So that's number 2. Number 3 sort of ties in with this as well, and that is to become. You have to stop seeking. You have to learn how to be. So this is something that took me a long time to learn. So as I said, like I was very insecure as a younger person and I had a lot of fears and doubts. And one of my main goals when I started learning from other people and I started to become aware of my possibilities and my potential, one of my first main goals was to become more confident, because I knew that that was a common characteristic that all successful people had. They all had a high level of confidence, at least in most cases they did. So I saw that as like a key quality that I needed to develop within myself if I wanted to be more successful in all areas of my life. I knew that confidence was something that I needed, right? But I got stuck in a trap of always seeking confidence or chasing it or trying to become more confident, but never allowing myself to just be confident. It's this sort of paradox. It's this trick our mind plays on us that says we can only have what we want sometime in the future, but we can't have it right now. we have to do these things and practice this stuff before we can feel confident. Our mind tells us that what we want is in the future and that it's somewhere out there, but it's not inside of us already. That's the trick our mind plays on us. And yeah, there is times in our life where we need to, practice certain things. We need to be disciplined. We need to learn. We need to study. We need to do those things. But what I found is that you can choose confidence now. You don't have to wait for it. So you can choose to feel confident in the process of growth. And that helps you grow much, much faster when you feel confident already. Then growth becomes fun. And insecurity comes from thinking that the answer lies in the future. It comes from thinking that you don't have access to the feeling you want, to the success you want. If insecurity comes from feeling like you don't have it now and that it's not accessible right now. But at the end of the day, we don't just want success. I thought I needed to be more confident because if I was confident, then I would be more successful and I would be able to make more money and be able to do more things in life that I wanted to do, right? But at the end of the day, what do we really all want? We don't really want the external future things. What we really want is just to feel confident. We want to feel good. We want to feel happy. We want to feel at peace and comfortable in our own skin. What we're really after is the feeling, not the thing that we think will give us the feeling. You see, most people have it backwards. I at least had it partly right. Most people think that once I achieve this thing, then I will feel confident. I reversed that and I said, once I feel confident, then I will be able to achieve these things. But then I got stuck in another trap, which was thinking that once I do these certain things, then I will be more confident and then I will be able to get what I want in life. So I just fell into the same trap, just in a different direction, kind of. Still seeking, still chasing, instead of learning how to be, learning how to relax, and just practice being confident now, not later. Why do you have to wait for it? Like me making this podcast episode, for example. Before I made this, there was a little resistance in me. I didn't necessarily want to sit down and record this. I thought of all the work that it's going to take to make this and edit it, and what if I stumble over my words and they don't come out right and I have to do 5 retakes of this episode, and there was this resistance or this fear. But I just sat down and I relaxed and I chose to feel confident in my ability to produce this for you. To just feel confident now. It doesn't mean that in 5 minutes from now I'm going to feel confident. Maybe I'll feel insecure. Maybe I'll think this episode wasn't good enough or whatever, So it's not saying that you're going to be confident every second of your life, but it's just about choosing it. Instead of thinking your confidence depends on some achievement or some skill that you have to develop or something you have to do or have, start seeing it as a choice. And when you make the choice to be confident and courageous over and over and over again, you start to become that way more naturally. It becomes more of a habit. Because choosing confidence is really just releasing fear and doing the thing you're afraid to do. So insecurity is like a fear. It's a fear, right? It's this fear that things won't turn out right or we won't be able to do it. And you know how to overcome that insecurity, that fear? By just doing the thing that you're afraid to do and proving yourself wrong. Proving yourself wrong. That is how you start to change your beliefs about yourself and to start to feel far more confident. When you're afraid to do something or chase a goal of yours, and then you say, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. Even though I'm afraid, I'm going to choose courage and do it anyway. And then when you start doing that, you start to see success. You start to see that you can actually do it, and it's not as hard as your mind was making it out to be. And when you get that feedback, when you see that you can do it and it's not really that hard and it's just your fear that makes it feel hard, and when you practice just releasing that fear and just moving into that confident place and being confident instead of seeking confidence or seeking success, choosing to be and feel successful right here and right now, then you give your brain the feedback, and then your mind starts to believe that, oh, I am good enough. I can do it. And it opens up all these possibilities, and your mind just starts to see that you have more potential than you even knew. And all you had to do was move forward to break that barrier, to break through that fear. So it's not about necessarily just achieving things, but I think the purpose of goals in life is really in helping shape ourselves into more confident, more fearless, more peaceful people. So a lot of people are stuck in always chasing success and always setting goals and always having to reach a new level in their life. But the way I see it is just set big goals in your life and go after your dreams in life, not because those things are going to make you happy, but because they're going to force you to learn how to be happy now. Because you're not going to have an easy time getting that goal, that thing that you want in the future. You're not going to have an easy time getting it unless you learn how to enjoy the process, unless you learn how to develop courage and faith and trust. So that's how I see it. Like, I have big goals in life, but I'm not attached to them. I'm not thinking that I have to achieve those things or else I'll never feel worthy. I just see it as something there to challenge me to continuously step outside my comfort and to continuously practice courage and faith and trust and surrender. Continue to let go of my fears. You will make so much more progress in life. You will grow so much more spiritually by chasing your biggest dreams and overcoming your fears than you will by sitting sitting in a cave meditating for years. There's a lot of people that are focused on spiritual growth, but they just sit around and they're very passive, and they might meditate and they find peace, and that's great. I'm not against that. But a lot of these people don't realize how much fear they still have within them because they never challenge themselves. They think it's all about just sitting back and just being passive. But as soon as they go to chase something in life, or as soon as they try to step outside their comfort zone and do something that they've never done before, all of a sudden all those fears come back up. You could be meditating for years and you think you're enlightened and you think you're so peaceful and happy and calm. But then what happens when you go step outside your comfort zone? When you leave the comfort of your meditation cushion and you go into the real world and you try to do something you've never done, then what happens? You're not so peaceful anymore, right? Because the world is triggering those things that you were never giving it a chance to trigger. So when you set big goals in life, it just forces you to grow at a more rapid rate. It forces you to really overcome the internal obstacles because you will be triggered by things. You will face insecurities and doubts, and you'll lose your faith, and there will be challenges along the way. And all of these things are just teaching you how to let go of fear. That's how I see it. Every challenge in life is just challenging you to let go of fear and saying, can you let go of fear and move forward in this case? Or just let go of the fear and just choose to feel at peace, no matter what results you may or may not be getting in life. So this is a journey. It's a lifelong journey. We're always learning and we're always growing. But I think that every challenge is essentially teaching us the same thing. Every challenge we face in life is teaching us how to let go, how to have more faith, more trust, and more confidence. And it's a practice, but we don't have to wait to feel those things. We can choose it in every present moment. In this moment, we can choose confidence. The next moment, our mind might jump in and we feel insecure and fearful and whatever, but if we're aware and we pay attention, we can release that fear and we can choose confidence again. And the fear comes back, but then we release and we feel confidence and faith and trust again. And it's like this repetitive process of training our mind to rest, relax, trust, and to be at peace in the process of life. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave me a comment. If you're listening on another podcasting platform, just be sure to give me a rating. Please rate the podcast if you enjoy it. Leave your comments or your feedback on any of my social media platforms, or you can sign up for more information from me, more training and more guidance at perfectlyatpeace.com. So thank you for taking your time to be with me today, and I will talk to you in the next episode.